Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for a new show, She-Hulk Attorney at Law, Season 1, Episode 1, A Normal Amount of Rage. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. Excuse me. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can't, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you feel like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. Go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All righty. So, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. I'm giving you enough time to hit pause, stop, whatever you're going to do. I need to just put this on a little turntable and just spin it around. Yeah. All right. All right. So, She-Hulk, Shulky. Yes. So this is a character I've been waiting for a long time for Marvel to do live action, TV show, movie, something like that. That's what I'm getting. This is one of my favorite Marvel characters, quite honestly. I want to say since the John Byrne days when he started the sensational She-Hulk. I also read the Savage She-Hulk when it was out and all that stuff. I want to say I even bought the very first issue of that, and I might have had it in my possession at one point in time or another. So Mork says, after waiting all the time for your stream to start, it never did, had a reboot, and then the fucking commercials. Oh, I'm sorry, Morks. But you know what? You panned for my 2 cents to be on YouTube. I don't know. Sorry about that, man. So the whole thing, so She-Hulk has been Deadpool before Deadpool was Deadpool. Let's just say that. So she breaks the fourth wall all the time. There is a famous She-Hulk cover from the John Byrne era where she says, buy my comic, or I'm going to come to your house and rip up all your X-Men. That's a famous cover. This is something that I wanted, and granted, I wanted Allison Brie, but uh, Tatiana Maslany is not a bad second for me. It really is. So this is, of course, playing out as a comedy. It's going to be a courtroom comedy, if you will, but not really a courtroom comedy. It is going to have some aspects of superhero-ness to it as well. And I had fun with the first episode. It wasn't something that knocked my socks off, but it was a fun first episode. Basically, they tell you how she gets the powers. We've already been a few months into her having the powers, and then, of course, Bruce training her, and of course, her being better at the having the powers than him, just because she doesn't have the excess baggage that he does. He has multiple personality disorder. We already know this. That is the cross that he has to bear with his superpowers. She doesn't have that multiple personality disorder, so she's able to adapt a bit better. We do find out as we're going through this, which I found interesting. And by the way, we're going to have Hulk in all 9 episodes of this. It's 9 episodes this season. And that's the other thing, too. It is a Hulk series, if you will. Not just She-Hulk, but also Hulk. We're going to have Abomination in it. We're going to have a lot of different Hulk-related characters to this. And that actually tickles me to no end, because Hulk is a very underused character. And this is the Hulk, of course, after the blip, of people coming back, and his arm is in a sling. And after Jen gets irradiated by his blood, all she does is she gets blood. There's a car accident. He bleeds, she bleeds, and he bleeds his blood onto her, which gets into her cut, and then she gets infected by it. As he puts it, you get a lethal dose of gamma radiation. That's what he starts off with. But since her genetics are similar to Bruce's genetics, they absorb gamma radiation in a different way, and they turn into the Hulks. That's why this happens to them. Doesn't happen to everyone. Uh, Morks says Bruce trains her; she's better. Uh, no, it's not like that, Mork. It's not. So there's going to be a lot of the woke, contingent that are going to go, oh my god, it's a female led TV show, so it's got to be woke. And no, it's not that. This is, they kind of sped through her origin story, which I appreciated because I already know her origin story, and they're kind of getting through, and it's only 37 minutes long, that first episode, so fairly easy to do. I don't think we're going to get to the Red Hulk movie for Nobi, but we might. Who knows? We did get a Sakaar ship. So I don't know what the Sakaar ship, that's actually what runs them off the road and why they have the car accident. I don't know what the Sakaar ship is for. If we're going to get so there's a couple different things we can get. We could have the Grandmaster, of course, Jeff Goldblum's character. That could be him. It could be Hulk's son, who this could be the prelude to World War Hulk. It could be Secret War. There's a whole bunch of things that this could be leading into. We don't know as of yet. It's just a ship so far from Sakaar. It's a class 8 ship, is what they said. So yes, it's one of those things that there's a lot of little Easter eggs with that within this episode. You have Iron Man's uh, helmet in the background with a bullet hole in it, things of that nature. So it's fun. That's the whole thing. That's what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. It's breezy. It is going to be part of the MCU, though. It is going to lead us into other territories of the MCU, but it's going to do so in a fun way. And that's kind of what She-Hulk has always been. And not being it's not frivolous, I should say, not kind of stupid fun, but it's smart comedy. So you're going to have fun with this one. CBM says Hulk throws something hard enough that it either explodes under the speed or escapes orbit. I don't think she's inherently better. So no, it's not that she's inherently better. It's she's getting faster at it because he has other things that he needs to work through. He has multiple personality disorder, like I said. So he's fighting himself on a lot of these things, whereas she doesn't have those issues. There you go. We did not discuss Cap's virginity as of yet. So that's actually one of my favorite things in all of this too. Um, so as they are in Mexico, in this little cabana that Bruce and Tony actually built together with an underground lab. Uh, yeah, that's where Bruce is training her. Um, she's basically always pestering Bruce about Captain America being a virgin, and just pestering it. That's actually when they get into the car accident, she's actually running through the timeline of when the hell did Captain America have time to get laid, because of the timeline there was no place for him to get laid, so he's a virgin is what she was getting at in all of this. And I love the very last stinger that you get, the after credits or the mid credits stinger, is that she is in human form drinking. She's supposed to be drunk, and she's lamenting how Captain America, that ass, died a virgin. How Captain America's ass died a virgin ass. And that's when he finally, Bruce finally goes, Captain America lost his virginity to a USO showgirl in 1943. And she all of a sudden just, of course, she's been faking that she's been drunk, and she goes, I knew it. Captain America, and just before she could say fucks, they cut to black, which that was beautiful. They did a great job. Um, that was that's my favorite scene, I would say. My other favorite scene is when he throws her off the cliff and she flips him off as she's going down. And that's total She-Hulk. I mean, that really is. Yes, we do get a little bit of courtroom drama as well. We get a character named Holden Holloway, who she is up against in the courtroom. Holden Holloway actually ends up owning a law firm that is going to specialize in superhuman um, law, if you will, protecting not protecting superhumans so much as being their lawyers for whenever they, you know, get arrested or, damage property, things of that nature. This is something that hasn't been touched on in the MCU, which, it's something that should be touched on in the MCU. So that is one of these things that is going to be touched upon. Also, Daredevil is going to be in the next 8 episodes. So Charlie Cox is going to be in the next 8 episodes. So there we're at. Movie says she's better at control because her personality isn't split. But I didn't understand how the blackout stopped. She needed to get used to it, Movie Nobi. That's what she was saying, is that it was so new that it was an imbalance, if you will, of her hulking out and basically her body chemistry changing, not realizing it, and passing out because of it. And then that's why she would wake back up again. We do have a baddie. We saw her in the courtroom. It was kind of a cheesy effect. You see her flying on a wire almost, across the courtroom. Titania, yes. Played by oh god, now I'm just blanking on her name. Jamila Jamil. And she didn't say anything. All we just saw was the fight, and of course she got knocked the fuck out. So yeah. So yeah, again, this is just a basic setup. We went through the origin story really quickly. This is something that I've been talking about for a long time. This is what Disney Plus is supposed to be for, is you get your fucking origin story over really quickly. Half an hour tops. That's all you need to do. You get your origin story out of the way. Now you can have your story and you can bring your characters into the movies. These main characters. So yeah, that's actually what's supposed to happen here. CBM says she didn't even black out except for when she was in an injury. No, she actually blacked out when she first turned into She-Hulk, and the second time when at the bar, when the guys were harassing her and she hulked out, and that's when Bruce hits her and she blacks out again. So yeah, and she even mentions it that you know it was a quick explanation. She goes, it's so new to me that the transformation actually was, I had to get used to it, is what she said. CBM says, yeah, I found the Captain America joke figgle worthy, giggle worthy. Okay, but at first, but it was hilarious in the end credit. Yeah, yeah. I love, I mean, that it was especially her just faking being drunk in her human form. So this is one of the things that Bruce tells her, is that one of the benefits of being a Hulk is that they never get drunk. They get a buzz, but they never get drunk, and they drink these gigantic Hulk-sized drinks. Although the Hulk-sized hangovers later on, when you turn into a human, that's another story. That's fucked up. Also, something in Jen's genetic makeup was able to help Bruce heal his arm. Remember that his arm was damaged at the end of Infinity War. So from the snap of bringing everyone back from the blip. So he was able to heal his arm faster, and now, of course, he has a fully functional arm, which means this takes place sometime after Shang-Chi, because we saw Bruce with a damaged arm in Shang-Chi. He was actually in human form with his inhibitor, the inhibitor which allows him to stay human, because that's what was healing his arm. So we got that whole thing out of the way as well. So there's a lot of different things that actually happened in this half-hour episode, 37-minute episode, that actually talk about the movies a bit. We get some stuff out of the way, and then also you get an origin story to it as well, and you also have a little bit of fun with it as well, with her talking straight to the camera, and just filling us in. One of the things I did hear that they were messing around with at first, when they were trying to figure out how to what way to have her break the fourth wall, was they were going to have editor's notes, where the editor actually either posts something on the screen, or there's something that types in the screen like an editor's note, and she replies directly to the editor's note, which is what they used to do in the comics as well. She'd actually talk to the audience in the comic, and then she would also talk to the editor's notes in the comics as well, which I thought was pretty nice. What did I think about the special effects? Not great, but honestly, it's a TV budget. It's a cable TV budget, and I knew it wasn't going to be great. I kept looking at it and trying to discern it, and it's good for what it is. Quite honestly, it's better than anything you're going to see on the CW or HBO Max. So it's good. It works. It's a little bit plasticky on some stuff, but then again, I'm going to be the one that's going to be nitpicking on that kind of stuff just because I've seen other stuff. But for the budget, for a TV budget, for a cable TV budget, when you're doing both Hulk and She-Hulk, it's good. They actually did a decent job. Um, Raymond says, "Well, isn't the fourth wall breaks imply that she doesn't indeed have some sort of personality disorder?" No, not really. She's actually talking to the camera. So this is something that's been going on since the John Byrne days. Like I said, that actually is something from the comic, and it was not a personality disorder or a break or anything like that. So. Mork says, "Do you and She-Hulk get together in the comics? And if so, is their spawn the Green Giant?" Not me personally, no. So, although there was a running joke later on that she ends up, she's a little promiscuous, as they say. So, uh, the one thing I did find, so the woke community I know is going to latch onto this is he's Bruce is telling her at one point, they're sitting down doing something almost like yoga, but it's actually a scientific way of controlling anger and things like that. And he's telling her, you need to control your anger. You need to be able to bring it out when you need it. And otherwise, you can kill people, you can hurt people, things of that nature. And she just says, as a woman, I do this all the time. If someone cat calls me, uh, things like that, she goes, I have to not respond. She goes, I can't be angry about it because, either I piss somebody off or I get called a bitch or I can get killed, is what she says. And it was a literally like maybe I would say 15, 20 seconds. And then that was it. But I know the woke community is, that those go woke, go broke bullshit bros are going to latch onto this, and of course, fuck them is what I'm just going to say right now. So it was a 15-second little thing that gave you an encapsulation of what her mindset is, and then you can move on. There. CBM says it is interesting how they put the Hulk's feelings about Tony's death, which hasn't been explored. Yes, and that's the other thing too, is we are getting a little bit of Bruce's reaction to Tony's death too. Yeah. CBM says I think She-Hulk looks a little worse because she doesn't have as much texture like the Hulk who has stubble. They try to soften her up too much, CBM. So I don't want to go into technical stuff, but I think they put too much blur and they tried to soften the skin a bit instead of adding something that kind of adds a little more moisture. There's oh god, I'm trying to think. There's actually a good representation within Pixar that does it, and I can't remember the character right now. And it's a female character. I want to say it's either Brave or Raya. I can't remember which one it is. That actually does it really, really well, where the skin tone looks real and translucent and like real skin in a way, and like healthy skin, not like mine or anything like that. And that is actually something that is kind of missing from this, and I'm sure we're going to see it later on. Disney always reworks their shit, so once this whole series comes out, all 9 episodes are done, I can almost guarantee you that the CGI is going to be reworked in some way, and you're going to see a better episode later on down the line. So is it fun? Yes, it's fun. Go and watch it. I mean, it's like I said, it's not the best series, but honestly, it's the best Marvel series that we've had in a while. Quite honestly, it's more lighthearted. Like I said, it is. it's going to be something that's a bit softer for everyone. Uh, Miss Marvel was not a good series. That's at the bottom of the barrel for me on series. Hawkeye was fun, but way too heavy in some of the overtones and some of the stuff there. So I liked it, but um, and WandaVision just kind of got negated by everything that happened in you know, Multiverse of Madness. So otherwise, that would have been at the top spot. Raymond says, I don't get the wokeness argument in this. It clearly showed Hulk was still stronger and he was holding back. I agree with you. But there are going to be groups of people that, because it is a female led show, because there is it's called She Hulk, in the title, that are going to find their masculinity threatened or whatever. And so, of course, they're going to say woke, 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 woke. So, yeah, instead of Hulk, they're going to, yeah. So, anyway, that's all it is, man. It's just, yeah. Haters going to hate. Exactly, Marks. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Yes, the MCU, which is what they are saying right now. That's all I can say to that. Cough of a big fucking hairball on that one. So, yes, go and take a look at it. It's fun. You'll enjoy it. There are going to be tons of Easter eggs in there. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Yeah, I know they've been saying it. They were saying it for a couple of months now, Penn. I already know. Um, but yeah, it's a fun episode. I'm glad that we're getting the Hulks here as well. And again, it's one of those things that I've been looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the comedy, quite honestly. And this whole aspect of that we haven't seen before, of legal ramifications of being a superhero. I mean, you see, we started a little bit of it with Damage Control, then Damage Control got spun off into becoming like Homeland Security in a way, which isn't what Damage Control is supposed to be. Damage Control is just supposed to be there to help clean up collateral damage. That's all they were ever supposed to be in the comics. They were not supposed to be fucking Homeland Security, but God knows why they decided to do that. But anyway, yeah. Raymond says, I can't wait to see the legal side of it now that Better Call Saul has left a hole. It's not going to be like tons of legal stuff either. It's just going to be some interesting asides. If you ever want to see a little bit about what the comic was, you can always Google Holden Holloway, Hollyway, and just take a look at the comic aspect of it. That's from Earth 616, which is also the comic in the MCU Earth. And you'll see what that is. Oh, and by the way, this is whiskey. I don't know if anyone else puts their bottle of whiskey in the refrigerator, but that's the way you're supposed to do it. There we go. Much better. It's not really whiskey, but as far as you know. So anyway, what I've got left is tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. In about what time is it here? In a half an hour, I'm going to do Harley Quinn season 3, episode 6 is what we're going to do here. So yeah, that's what I've got going on in about 30 minutes here. Tomorrow is going to be Resident Alien. Resident Alien is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Saturday I'm going to be off. Sunday will be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre the genre news of the week, any genre stuff you guys want to talk about when we talk about it. And Monday will be House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon starts on Sunday, but we're going to do it on Monday. Tuesday I'm going to be off. Wednesday will be another episode. If it's worth my time, it will be Lock and Key season 3, the final season of Lock and Key. And then, of course, we roll back around to Thursday, where we have the doubleheader of Shulky and Harley Quinn. And by the way, Shulky is the nickname that was given to her in the comics. which I love that the hashtag Shulky is there in Twitter as well, along with the little She-Hulk, icon and all that stuff there. I'm glad Marvel is actually doing that right, you know. So, with that said, thank you to everybody joining me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video. It pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com, like Penn has up there in the chat. Take a look at the schedule. I put it up every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All righty. I'm going to let you guys go. I will be back in half an hour for Harley Quinn. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may see a Sakar Class 8 ship that comes down right in their path as you're driving, because those motherfuckers don't know how to drive. Who knows where the hell they got their license? Thanks, everybody. I will see you in about half an hour. Have a good rest of your night. If you don't, come back, I understand. Otherwise, if I will see you in half an hour, and I'll see you then. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.